You can't hear them? Well, they're muted. We're the only ones talking right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so next we have Rochelle. You see her right there? She's at work.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and pick her card anyway. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
I am passionate. That's a pretty card. I give my whole heart to everything I do. That's a good one. Okay, next we got Karen down here. You see her? Okay, let's pick hers.
I'll pick hers right over here.
Ah, I love that.
Like the path.
Yeah, hold on, let me read them, okay? I am authentic. No way. Did you pull that one today? Ah! How cool is that? Like, if that isn't like validation, you know, I don't know what is. But I guess I don't need to read it for you, but I'll read it for everybody else. But I live my truth and my genuine nature is valued. Yes. Oh, we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're going to focus on the cards. Okay? One thing at a time. Okay, let's see who's next. Oh, we got Bethany. See her up there? Okay. Ah, good choice. I am driven. Yes. I move. Driven is your favorite too. I move towards my goal with certainty and intention. Love that.
I picked mine.
You already picked one.
No, I'm picking mine first.
Okay, Brooke's next.
Okay, Brooke.
There. Ooh, that's a pretty one. I am proud.
Wow.
I like that for you. I take deep pleasure in my own achievements, which I feel like is definitely you right now. Like, I love watching you and your husband right now doing 10 rounds. It's so cool. So cool.
Who's next?
Okay, we got Brittany next.
Okay, Brittany.
All right. She's a good one. I feel it. Oh, yeah. All right.
My favorite card.
Ooh, I am empowered.
Power.
Yeah.
Empowered.
Empowered means that she knows her worth and leads with vitality. Ooh, empowered means a hero.
Okay. Next.
All right, so we got Michaela next.
Okay, Michaela.
Okay.
Right over here.
Right over here. Ooh, good one.
That's
Look at the double rainbow.
Rainbow.
I am fulfilled. I feel content and abundant in my life right now. I love that. That's cool. I love that one for you.
Who's next?
Okay, so we got Nicole down here.
Okay.
All right, let's pick Nicole's.
Okay.
Ooh, I love this one. I am present.
Present?
Yeah.
Present.
Present means that she's here right now. Or she's a present. Like a gift.
Hey, that's like a present.
Yeah.
The present is way to the White House.
Oh, that's the president. Yeah.
President.
We've been working on that stuff.
Hey,
Okay, wait, hold on. I got to read it for her.
That's a cool double rainbow.
That is a cool double rainbow on that card.
Yeah, why do you think these?
Okay, so I am present is I breathe into this perfect moment without fear of the future or regret of the past. I love that.
Hey,
Be
Mom,
in today.
is that cool with the double rainbow?
It is a cool card with the double rainbow.
Okay.
Okay, so next we got Lisa.
Well,
I know you can't see her face, but that's okay. You got to pull her card anyway. Oh, she's here.
oh, he's here. Ooh, stones.
Stones. I am balanced. Is what it is. I remain upright and steady in my body and mind. I love that. Good to see you, by the way.
It's here.
All right, did we get everybody's card? Make sure we got everybody. Amanda. Okay, now you get to pull Mama's. You can pull mine.
Okay. Get out.
Ooh, that's a pretty one. I am courageous. I act bravely in the face of adversity. Yes. I feel like that's totally me right now. I like that. Those were good. Hey, you did good.
Oh, that's mine too.
You want to pull another one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's pull one more for you.
Okay.
And then we're going to put them up. Are you going to pull?
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Oh,
Ooh, I am successful. Good choice. I accomplished everything I set my mind to. I like that for you. You are successful. You will be successful. Like, put it into their minds, right? Grow, my little one. All right, dude. Bless you. Bless you. All right. We're all done with the cards. You want to go back and watch your movie?
no.
Yeah, because we're going to talk. I'm going to talk to the girls.
I want to talk.
You want to talk with me? All right. All right, ladies. Hopefully you jotted that down because I always think it's important to kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind. So make sure you jot, what cards you got down and kind of like think about that throughout the day, kind of use it to channel energy when you feel like your energy is like getting off. Or if you feel like you're struggling or something, just be like, okay, what was my card? How can I, come back into a positive mindset? How can I channel that energy back, And sometimes, you guys, we just have to step back and take a little break. What? Oh, the tooth fairy came. Did you guys? She did, yeah, she made up for her mistakes. That is awesome. Look, that's exciting. Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Like, making it rain over here. Okay, I'm gonna do my meeting. No. Take your money and go count it in the living room, okay?
1, 2, 3.
There you go. Oh yeah, so Tooth Fairy made up for slacking yesterday. All right, so I do have a little video today. It's like 10 minutes. It's a little different than what we've been watching the last 2 days. I really liked the video, but I felt like it wasn't like high energy enough for us. I don't know, just yesterday I kind of felt like I was like, okay, I get you, like this is good information, but I just felt like I needed like a little bit more energy with it. But I listened to the rest of it the rest of the day, so I still think the video is definitely worth watching. But I just miss Rachel. I love her husband, but I just like Rachel. I don't know. Like, and it's nothing like against him. I think we're just women. And so like even her storytelling just associates with us, I still think it's good to hear from him because it's good to know that they work so well together. Like she's built this amazing business and he's actually chose to join her, which I like. He was kind of saying in his video about like whenever his ego gets in the way or if he's like, feeling insecure. And I'm sure he feels semi-insecure sometimes because, as a male to join your wife's business and quit what you were doing, I'm sure can be kind of pride, men's pride and egos like that. He probably had to let a lot of that down in order to step in and be fully for her and where she needs to be. And so I still think it's important for us to hear like his perspective, but I just found myself wanting like Rachel to like pop in. Like I kept just like wanting her to like come in the video and like start talking or something like that. But she didn't, but that's okay. So I've got a new video for us. So I would love for us to just kind of watch this and just see what we can find, see if we can pull out something else from it. And then maybe we could chat about it a little bit. And then honestly, I thought maybe we play a couple songs, kind of bring up the energy a little bit, and then we'll just see. I think sometimes we'll just see kind of what happens. And after the video, like sometimes conversation happens. Sometimes we'll kind of be like, okay, not so much, but I always think we're always going to learn something, you guys, like, and not every day is going to be this like profound awakening experience. Okay. But it's still very important to stay consistent. So maybe not every day you're like, oh my God, that was the best video ever. But if you could pull something out of every video, then I could put like my little stamp of approval on it, or at least I can say, okay, I put in the work. I know sometimes what happens, you guys, is that we're really struggling. And so we lean into personal development, and then we start to feel a little bit better. And then what do? We stop doing freaking personal development, right? Because we're feeling good. And then we get back into that hole, and then we're like, oh, maybe I should do some personal development. So we pull ourselves back out of this mental hole, and we start doing the work again, and then we start feeling good, and then we stop doing personal development. So that's why I really wanted to do this every single day, no matter what, because there's going to be days where you feel good and you're like, maybe I don't need this, but you do need it. Okay. You do need it. The days that you feel good are the days that you need it the most. The days that you feel bad are the days you need it the most. You need to stay consistent no matter what. Okay. And especially if you've been coming here for a while, like, you should start to feel a sense of like, I'm getting better. I'm getting the hang of this. I'm feeling more positive. I'm feeling a little better. If you feel like you're going the other way, I need you to reach out to me. I need you to message me and say, hey, I've been coming to Warrior Hour, but I'm getting more depressed, or I'm getting more in my hole. I need you to reach out to me and message me so we can talk like one-on-one and like about your specific situation. Because you guys, it's so important to like make sure that you're moving up. Like, if you're coming here every single day, you're hitting your workouts, you're doing the work, and you're not kind of traveling up a little bit, we've got to adjust something. Okay. And maybe your adjustment needs to be different than everybody else's, because everyone's different. So that's why I say you got to reach out to me with like maybe personal situations or something, because maybe I'm just not hitting it here, you know, because I'm trying to do more of like a mass conversation, but maybe I can direct you to a specific personal development or a specific workout that can help you start moving up. But as you continue coming to Warrior Hour, you're going to feel a sense of strength begin to build. You're going to start to feel a little bit of an empowerment. You're going to start to feel like, man, I'm feeling kind of strong mentally. And if you're working out, then physically, that's when you need to continue coming. Okay. Because that's the time that people will start to skip, or people will start to kind of like not take notes or not really pay attention. And then what happens is they start to slide back down. Okay. And then you have to do all the work to get back up. So just stay consistent. Even if you're feeling good or you feel like, wow, I'm like in a good mindset, 2 days from now, something could happen and pull you back down, you know? And so, but if you've had a consistent personal development, you can kind of pull yourself out of those kinds of things or find meaning in them a lot faster than if you're struggling mentally or if you're struggling in life. Okay. So basically, bottom line, don't skip Warrior Hour. Okay. Don't skip the work. Okay. Don't skip it, because like literally working out your mind here is the same exact thing as working out your body every single day. Okay. You have to do it. And I'm even still giving you guys breaks, you know, like some days we just do music. Some days we're doing yoga, you know, so it's not like every single day is like this, like info into your brain. It's a whole kind of array of strengthening your brain. And the moment you stop strengthening your brain, the moment you stop, you know, I always think of that quote that we got like a couple of weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or something. And it was like, the moment you stop, you're going to get ran over. Like, doesn't matter what it is. The moment you stop doing personal development, you're going to get ran over. And you're going to have to start all over again. The moment you stop working out, you're going to get ran over. You know, and I just think of that is because you're going to instantly start regressing. You're going to instantly start losing results, you know? And so you have to make sure that you're continuing push, new info, workout. And you just have to keep going, you guys. I know it's going to feel weird, and there's going to be times that you want to stop and reflect or be like, oh, this is too much. It's not too much. Go. Like, I literally in my head think go. Push, keep going. Because if I don't, and I stop to think for a second, or I stop to like reflect or whatever, I put on the brakes, you know, and then I get ran over, and I have to kind of rev it up again, even if that's for a day or 2 days or whatever, or a week. The moment you put those brakes on, you guys, you're going to get ran over. Keep going forward. Even if it's hard, even if you're like, well, how am I, like, even if you start to like mourn something, you know, like maybe you're mourning the loss of a family member, or maybe you're mourning the loss of a vacation that you didn't get because of, you know, everything that's going on. You have to literally decide, boom, that can't affect me. Like when I like heard that, I mean, there's always like that moment when I heard like Summit was canceled, which is our yearly event in July, got canceled. And I was just like, oh, and I started to like wallow for a second, you know, and I started to like feel sad and like depressed and annoyed. And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, because that's the decision. I can't fix it. I can't change it. So I could sit here and I could cry about it, and I can worry about it, and I can make all of these excuses, and I could sit and I could spread negativity in my team and say, oh, doesn't that suck? This is terrible. How dare they? You know what I mean? I could do that if I wanted to. Or I could say, you know what, guys, it's canceled. That's okay. We're going to do a virtual watch party. They're going to do some virtual stuff in July. We're going to do a watch party. We'll still do something. Maybe I'll still get everybody gifts. I don't know. Like, I just keep going on to the next. Okay, it's canceled, on to the next. Like, and I think of it as that video with Rachel that we watched on Sunday on Easter, if you guys were here, where she was like, the sooner and quicker you accept your new reality, the sooner you can move forward. The same thing with situations that come up. When something gets canceled, we could sit and wallow and worry about it and cry and be frustrated. Or we can just say, boom, that's our new reality. Let's go. Now what do I have to do? Now what can I do? How can I fill that time? How can I take that money and put it towards something else? How can I, you know what I mean? Like, you just continuously think of a different way. How can I make this work for me? Oh, like you're saying, like, how can I? Yeah. At first I was like, how can you make, I thought you were like actually asking, but you're saying, how can I make this work for me? Yeah, like, how can I use this to my advantage? Like for me, you guys, Summit got canceled, and I was saving money for the hotel, to pay for the hotel, and just saving money to shop and stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, I have this money. And so now I just have a list of 70 nurses that I'm making like little packages for. Or like, we're like spreading them out between like the girls, and like everybody's taking a couple of them. And I was like, well, I'll just take that money and I'll just put it towards nurse packages. That's still effective. That's still something that I feel really good about. That's something that I can transfer that money and just put it towards positive, and something that can maybe even still move my business forward or help somebody, or, you know, anything like that. And so, yeah, how can I make this for me? Like, but you have to accept that reality first. That's the main thing. You can't sit there and say, poor me, why did this have to happen? You just have to say, okay, new reality. This is it. This is what we're in. And the quicker and sooner you accept it, and you just like rip that Band-Aid off, you know, rather than like peeling the Band-Aid off with like all your skin and your hair, you know, like just rip it off and move on. That way we can look at the scab for what it is. You know, we can just like look at it and be like, all right, this is what we have. This is what we're working with. Now, how can I make it work for me? I love that. I love that line. How can I make it work for me? Like, that's like exactly, like, I just want you guys to write that down. Every time something comes up, how can I make this work for me? How can I use this to my advantage? Hey, don't be rude. That's rude. No. We're done with cards. No. If you want, you can pull your chair up right here, and you can continue drawing or stickers. But I'm talking. Okay?
I want to talk.
No. All right, ladies. So we are going to do this little video that I have and see what I can find. They love you too. I love you too. Thank you. Okay, let me pull this video up. Give me 1 second. Am I almost done? No, we're about halfway through. Okay, but I need you to be quiet, okay? Because we're going to do a video.
My question to you today, my friends, are, and really...
Hold on, I'm trying to get the volume to turn up here. There we go. Okay. Go take the middle. Go. Okay. Let me start it over. All right. Are we ready?
My question to you today, my friends, are, and really, I want you to think about this a little bit. I want you to take your time, really meditate on this. Why are you doing the thing that you're doing?
All of us want to feel inspired. We all want to feel like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. We all want to have some sort of physical and psychological safety, whether it's at home or work. And at the end of the day, every human being on the planet wants the feeling that I can provide for myself and my family. There's nobility in work.
I think dreams are fine. Like it's fun to fantasize, but I think it's also important to just be honest about what dreams are. Is that they're fantasies, they're fun, and so I prefer to kind of take more of a present approach of like, okay, let's pay attention to like, how does this feel right now? How does the work make you feel now? Because I think if you pay attention to that, that's actually what makes great things happen.
And I realize frustration is suffering. I get frustrated. I get concerned, worried sometimes. I go, okay, that's suffering. Where's it coming from? What am I stressed about? What am I concerned about? And what I immediately do is I realize the stressful thought. Since I've seen Christian G, I kind of traded one thing. What I really do now is I dig in and I notice that the only time you have stress or suffer is when you believe a stressful thought.
My thing is like, as long as I try my best, as long as I attempt it, then, that's not failing. Because there's a lot of people in life, whether it's in their personal life or in their business life, and they sit on the side and they're like, man, I don't have the resources, I can't build a business. Or I'm not old enough, I don't have the knowledge. Or I'm too old that I can't build a business. And I always tell people I'd much rather be in the trenches. I'd much rather be on the field than sitting on the sideline wasting time and thinking, man, I can't do that.
What are you really seeking after? Right? What do you really want? What hole in you? What missing part of you? Or what sore spot in you is healed by the pursuit of your goals?
You need the problems because that's what generates the meaning. And if you don't have the meaning, then everything just feels pointless. You're like, well, why do it? So you need that meaning. It comes back to that what I was saying about the stories that we wrap around our positive and negative experiences. Like that meaning is what creates those powerful stories that pushes us forward and makes us feel like our life is well lived.
I realized all I had to do is have my phone to be stressed. If that's true, my happiness is so cheap. Because what are the chances of everybody doing exactly what you think they should do the right way every day? So the antidote to suffering, the antidote of lost less never is appreciation. I always tell people, trade your expectation for appreciation for life changes.
The best leaders are actually the best. The best leaders never think that they're that the buck stops with them. They always believe that they're in service to something bigger than themselves.
The majority of not only entrepreneurs, but human beings, like we start off with can't. Like the majority of people are like, oh, you can't do this because this, and this. And it's like, humans are very disempowering creatures. Like if we don't catch our thoughts, if we don't catch our patterns, if we don't catch the things that come out of our mouth, if they're negative, like we need to switch that.
What really matters is the relationships with people. If you don't have people close to you to share them with, or to support or help support you, pretty much anything will eventually feel empty.
Don't confuse humility with weakness. Humility is being open to the ideas of others.
Your happiness can never last as long as it's got expectation. What I did was, I began to realize I made the decision, the most important decision I've made in my life, that I'm not going to suffer anymore. Life's too short to suffer. I'm going to live in a beautiful state every day. The way I do it is, I catch myself when I start to get that sense of stress. I let it go, and I see the idea of mine.
Me, self-confidence is measured, and there should be a degree of doubt. When we talk about building on self-confidence, I think the mistake that we make is that we look inside. I think the reality is when we try to build our self-confidence, we should be looking to our friends, we should be nursing our relationships. When I'm looking to build my self-confidence, the question is, who around me do I need to take care of?
Success is not you saying how much money you have in the bank account. It's about who you are and how you show up in the world and how you show up for yourself. Forget about everybody else. How do you show up for yourself? I honor your opinion. I will listen to good feedback, but I don't care if you think I'm a good person, I'm a bad person, I'm successful, I'm failure. It's not for you to decide, it's for me to decide.
They'll complain about being burnt out, or they'll complain about being tired. And I don't think necessarily in every case that we're burnt out or tired because we're doing too much, but maybe we're doing too little of the things that really matter, that make us feel alive.
The only way that change is going to take place is if you see the evidence of the collapse right in front of you. I think the challenge is that people have to wake up. And the question is, how uncomfortable do you have to become before you make up your mind to change something?
In life, I don't lose, I only win or learn. Like, if people can realize, like, so many people think like they've lost, but like if you just pull one piece of information that's good, whether it's a different perspective, extracting knowledge, a different way to go about life, a different way to not fall on your face, like, that's winning.
Appreciation, love, and joy destroy something. You can't be grateful and angry simultaneously. It's possible. You can't be worried and fearful and grateful simultaneously. So I tell people gratitude is one of the emotions to cultivate that'll destroy yourself.
Things are going well, you're happy. When things are not going well, you're sad. But when you learn how to self-regulate and create more coherence in your brain and heart, then you're no longer dependent on your outer world controlling your mood. The biggest and baddest people are handicapped and crippled by their limiting beliefs, the things that they tell themselves. And that's why I say the biggest disability is a bad mindset. It's not this body. Here's how I deal with fear. Fear is a figment of our imagination. Right? Fear is created because of expectations. Firstly, once you have an expectation of yourself and you say, hey, I don't need to have this expectation, I'm just living life as a play. It's a game, it's music, it's fun, joy. So I'm doing it for the fun and the joy, so I am enjoying along the ride. Like, I'm not gonna kill myself if I don't get there one day. Like, it doesn't define me. It's there only so I have something to chase.
My goal is not to make everything absolutely equal. The amount of time in my relationships, the amount of time I spend in the gym, the amount of time that I'm working on my career. But maybe the goal is like an orchestra. You know, each instrument, they don't necessarily have equal time, but they come together in a way that creates art, a symphony.
Choice is a gift. It's always there. You can choose what you focus on, and what you focus on is what you're going to experience. You can focus on things that make you suffer, you can focus on things that make you grateful. And of the two, gratitude is the better approach. It's not some namby-pamby positive approach. It's intelligent, because when you're in a good state, you can solve the problem.
Like, so many people are trying to seek validation from other people. They're trying to be working on relationships with girls, or trying to, seek validation from other things and Instagram and materialistic things. And when the biggest relationship that they should be working on is the one within themselves.
In fact, you begin to realize how you think and feel begins to produce effects in your outer life. Now you start believing more you're the creator of your life and less of the victim of your life. Now, that isn't something that you take one bite of and swallow and it's all over. It's a process of repatterning. It's a process of rewiring. It's a process of reconditioning. It's a process of self-reflection and awareness and changing those beliefs.
All that matters in the world we live in today, outside your belief systems, is your ability to add value.
Fast forward all the way to when we're taking our last breath. And at that time, nobody's opinions or our fears, none of that's going to matter. What's going to matter is how we lived, how we loved, how we laughed, how we learned.
authentic. Actually, Mike sent that to me. He said that we would like it. So I hadn't listened to it before today. I did pull out some stuff on it. I don't know if it was hard for you guys to hear sometimes. I know that's why, guys, I cannot wait until I get my freaking desktop. Like, Warrior Hour is about to be taken up a notch. Like, I am so antsy now that I've ordered it. Like, it's going to be like the longest, like, days in the world. It's supposed to come in tomorrow, but I probably won't have it set up until tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll be able to use it on Friday. But I cannot wait, because I know that it's just going to be so much easier for us to listen to videos, or it'll just come in a lot clearer than me sitting here with a speaker trying to play it through from a phone to a speaker to a phone. Like, it's ghetto over here, okay? But I still hope like maybe you guys could hear some of it. I know like people like Tony Robbins, like he's like a little bit of like a lisp almost, and so his words get kind of fuzzy when you're trying to listen to him through a speaker. So if you didn't hear everything, that's totally fine, but maybe you got something. The one thing that I pulled out the most, so let me back up. So I love that video because it talks about like staying in the work and enjoying the work, you guys. Like, I didn't come into coaching because I knew everything, okay? And I've been coaching for 4 years, and I'm still sitting here taking notes on motivational videos, okay? 4 years into hardcore coaching, and I've never once taken a break from coaching, and I've always done personal development. I've done countless programs, but I'm still here loving the work, okay? Like Warrior Hour or my workouts or the challenge group, that's my work. Like, I'm working right now. This is working for me, but I love it. Like, I love it so much. Like, this is what I love to do. And then, like, honestly, this is like what I was freaking born to do. And it's so good that I love it too, you know? And so I love that in the video, like one of the main things I wrote down was like, so like he was like, it's not that we're not, or he was like talking about like somebody being tired, and it's not that they're doing too much, it's that they're doing too little of the things that actually make them feel alive. Okay. And I've been there, you guys. I've been there, you know. 5 years ago, I was doing too much, but I was doing barely anything that actually made me feel happy. You know, I thought they were making me happy because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing, but it wasn't. You know, it was actually like the exact opposite of what I should have been doing. And so I really love that, because I know a lot of us feel like, maybe not so much right now, because some of us might actually, sometimes I have too much time on my hands right now that I just like wander around my house a little bit. But typically we complain about not having enough time, right? And typically we're like, how am I going to fit all of this in? I'm already doing too much. How could I possibly do more? And it's like, it's not that you need to be doing more. It's that you need to stop doing stuff that's not serving you and replace it with something that actually makes you feel alive. So it's not that you need to do more. It's that actually you probably need to do less of the stuff that's not serving you. Okay? So maybe that's less watching, you know, reruns and exactly, like you need to balance. Like, there's going to be things that you have to do in life that maybe you're not super excited about. You know, like there's going to be things in our lives that we kind of just have to buckle down and say like, all right, I just got to do this. We'll just get done with it. But if you surround those experiences with things that make you feel alive, those annoying things don't feel like that big of a deal. But now if you have to do those things, but it's surrounded by other stuff that you can't stand as well, of course you're going to dread life, you know? And so I always think that like, it's not that I want you to find more time for this stuff. I want you to start replacing stuff. So instead of sitting and watching reruns of a TV, you get up and press play on a workout instead, because it's 30 minutes. So instead of watching a rerun of The Office, you press play on your workout. Did I call you out, Carly? No, I'm just kidding. I watch The Office all the time. It's so good. But there are times where I have to stop myself, right? I'm like, I've seen this episode. Like, why am I sitting here watching this? I could actually probably listen to it and still be cleaning my house and know what's happening. You know, I don't actually even need to watch it because I know, you know, what's happening. And so things like that too is like, you know, we could find ways to have both too, you know? I think so. I absolutely think so. I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think that we can absolutely get everything we need to do in life and enjoy it as well, and surround it with stuff that we enjoy. Okay. And I think that that's just really what it comes down to, is like doing things that just make you feel alive, you know, that make you feel good. Like when I get off Warrior Hour, you guys, I have a sense of I have like this like butterflies in my stomach, because I'm just like, yeah, like I get good energy. Like it makes me feel alive, you know, like talking to you guys and then getting off here and being like, yeah, we listened to this video and I saw all the girls and they were like taking notes and like writing stuff down. Like that fuels me on a level that after I leave here, I don't mind cleaning my house. You know, I don't mind cleaning my house after this, because I've poured in and I've felt so alive here that I put music on and now I'm dancing around my house and like cleaning and putting the dishes and da 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 da, and I don't dread it, because I had this like this fuel, this life in me, you know? And so now I don't dread the things that I probably normally would. It's just try it, you know? Try to find things or identify also when something happens, like, wow, that made me feel alive. That made me feel really good. That's the first thing I think, honestly, is just like acknowledging and identifying the things that make you feel alive. Because I bet if I asked some of you guys, you'd probably be like, well, I don't know. I don't know what makes me feel alive right now. You know, I don't know what makes me feel good right now. And so what you need to do is almost take a step back and say, what does make me feel alive? What is it that when I'm doing something, I feel those butterflies and I feel that excitement and almost a little bit of fear, but I'm doing it anyway because it makes me just smile, you know? What is it that brings you to life? Maybe it's time to start identifying it. Maybe it's time to start doing it more. Or maybe it's time to just start ridding all that crap that isn't serving you. Stop. Sorry. Hey, I'm not done. Couple more minutes. You can pull a chair up for you here. I'm not having you sit on my lap, Bubby. It's too much. No. Okay. So let me see what else. Okay. So this was one thing that I actually wrote this at the top. They love you too, Bob. Love you. You want to play with my cards? Here. You want to take these and play with them? No? I'll play with these? Okay. I'm kind of trying to find things for you to do. Okay. So this is like the thing that I love the most that they said, and it was self-regulate. I love that line. Self-regulate. Like, guys, you are absolutely in control of everything that comes in and out of your body. You need to be your own self-regulator. Okay? And that's almost just like becoming aware of yourself. Does this serve me? Does it not? Does this make me anxious? Does this make me depressed? Why do I keep doing this if it's making me depressed? Why do I keep doing this if it's making me so anxious? And or maybe take a step back and say, why is this making me so anxious? What about this instance is making me anxious? And maybe I can identify that trigger, you know, just kind of like what we learned yesterday of like identifying our triggers. I've been working with Mike lately a lot. I didn't actually know that he didn't know what his triggers were. I mean, I can see them. I know what they are because I'm very self-aware though too. And like, he's never been taught in his life how to feel emotions, how to identify emotions. It's like the moment emotion would arise in his body, he was taught to suppress it, get over it, move on, you know? And I'm not. I'm like, let's feel it. Let's talk about it. You know? And he just like for years would just be like, Jen, I can't. No, I'm not doing it. It would usually arise into some kind of argument. And yeah, like pushing on a cruise, exactly. It's like, you know, he was like, no, like I'm not identifying that. I don't, like almost like if you were thinking of a bruise of like, I don't know where that came from and I don't want to talk about it, you know, like, and you're like, okay. But now I finally got him to a point where he does take a step back and go, I don't know where I got that bruise. I don't know why I got that. Oh, that's perfect, Bob. Grandma's gonna love it. She's gonna love it. That's awesome. Why don't you put a couple more stickers, maybe some bubbles or these flowers? We could do the back too. Okay. And so that's kind of one thing too, you guys, is sometimes we don't realize how things affect us. Like my kid came home the other day and he was telling me this story and he was like, and something happened. Yes. And so this is what happened. Yeah. So he like actually explained to me that he felt anxiety in his body. And like, he's a very anxious person, you guys. And the first time he's ever told me that he felt anxiety in his body was just the other day. And I was like, oh, okay, we're identifying it now, which is good. But I have seen, I mean, he's never stopped to identify it before, you know? And it was really cool to see him take that first step. Exactly. Like to take him that first step and being like, oh, this is affecting me. Like just stopping and saying like, how is this affecting me? Oh, I'm getting a feeling in my stomach. I want to fight or flight. I want to, get up and go or whatever. And it's like, exactly like, oh, absolutely. That's a very good, like, kind of like reference as well, because I feel like a lot of times like addiction or anytime that you're escaping emotions, you guys, and you have to come back into feeling, that's hard. You know, that's very hard because the reason why a lot of us become addicted or become, into those is the escape from the emotions, the escape from the anxiety, the depression and everything. But as we've learned, you can't escape the depression and anxiety without escaping joy as well. And so when we suppress or we get addicted or we get into that kind of mindset, yeah, we may be running from the depression or the anxiety, but we're also running from the joy. And is that worth robbing yourself of? Because the moment you can actually identify anxiety in your body, you can also probably identify like a euphoric feeling, because then you can be like, oh, this is that same feeling. It's excitement, and it's the same thing as kind of anxiety, you guys, like that same like heart racing, butterflies in your belly, I don't know what to do kind of feeling. It can identify as both. And so I remember when I first realized that fear and excitement are the same thing. The same thing. I'm fearful. Okay, so, and this is like how I would reference it. But when I was younger, I used to be in cheerleading.
I'm playing.
Hold on, bud.
I'm playing something on Xbox. It's like upload.
Okay.
I'm uploading something.
I can't wait to see what you're uploading.
Okay.
That'll be great. So when I first realized that like fear and excitement are the same thing. So this is how I referenced it. So when I was younger, I used to be a cheerleader and we would have competitions. And before I would go out on the like floor, I would be like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I have so much fear. What if I fall? What if I forget my routine? Or I could say, I'm so excited to go onto the floor. I'm so excited to do my routine. I'm so excited to kill it. It's the same thing. It's the same emotion in your body. It's your perspective on how you want to look at it. And it's interesting when you realize that fear and excitement, boom, are the same emotion in your body. You can channel it now. And you can choose your perspective on it now. So you could say, yeah, I'm fearful to become a coach on Jenny's team. Or you could say, I'm excited to become a new coach on Jenny's team. Totally up to you. It's how you want to look at it. But it's the same, okay? It's the same in your body, and you decide how you want to use it. Do you want to use it to channel your fears, or do you want to use it to channel your excitement? Totally up to you. Okay. So I love that. You are in control. You self-regulate. But only, it has to be a conscious decision though, you guys. It's not done on autopilot. It has to be a conscious decision to self-regulate. How does this make me feel? How can I identify it? How can I channel it to use it towards my advantage? You know? And that's where you can really start to be in control of your emotions no matter what. And I'm not saying like you don't cry when somebody passes away. Like that's not what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to be like robots, but I want you to be able to feel, okay, somebody passed away. That's a really intense emotion. You know, how can I channel that to maybe, okay, let's think outside the box. Okay, my uncle passed away. Can I reach out to my cousins? Can I reach out to my aunt and see if she needs anything? Can I find purpose in this situation rather than just feeling poor me, victimized? Okay, once you're out of your own body and saying, okay, I'm feeling sadness, but how can I maybe channel that and help somebody else and bring that energy up? Okay, so that's how you can start channeling and self-regulating so you don't fall into those deep holes. You could say, okay, I'm recognizing that this is a hard time. I'm recognizing that this may be a struggle for me. But what I can do is take that energy now that I've identified it and I can use it towards something positive, or I can pour into somebody else to see if I can help them and start channeling that energy to make it a positive energy. Okay. And I know it may sound weird, but as you start doing it, it's going to become easier. You're going to start to identify shit so much faster, you guys. Like you're going to be like, oh, this is anxiety. And when I have anxiety, I don't go grab the bottle. I go press play on my workout or I go for a run. Boom. That's my choice. And stick with that. Okay. And so that's how you can begin to self-regulate. I love that word. Like I'm like channeling into that word. I love that. Oh, don't get. How uncomfortable do I need to become? I wrote that down. I thought that was interesting. It's like, how much do you have to suffer before you decide to change? You know, like how sick and tired are you going to allow yourself to get before you decide to make a change? You know, how long are you going to allow yourself to feel sorry for yourself? How long are you going to allow anxiety and depression and those bad habits stay in your life until you get so freaking sick and tired of that shit? You have to be done with it. You have to be done with that. I don't want to cuss. You have to be done with that shit, okay? It's not serving you. It's not serving you. And it's time to identify it and kick it out. How long? Kristen, I think I see you.
So one of the things that he said that really resonated with me was, I don't want to lose, I just want to learn. And for me, that was just like, that hit home for me. I was just like, that's how I feel about every part of my life. Like we can't get better, we can't change if we're not consistently progressing.
Yep, I love that. What was can you remind me, what was it? If we can't, what was it?
I don't want to lose, I only want to learn.
I don't want to lose, I only want to learn. I like that. And when you're learning, you guys, you're not losing. Like it's like almost incapable to do both. Like if you're learning, you're automatically winning. You're automatically winning. And when you can identify as, wow, I'm doing this video, I'm on Warrior Hour, I'm automatically setting myself up for wins. You know? So if you're here, you're already winning. Congratulations. Now you just got to keep it winning. So what do you need to do the rest of the day to continue a winning mindset? You know, maybe you need to hit play on that workout. Maybe you need to go grocery shopping. Maybe you need to meal prep. Yes. If you're not, oh shoot, I didn't hear all of it. Or I didn't read all of it. I saw you. I wish I had a freaking chat so I didn't have to like go back and forth. Hold on. I want to read what you wrote, Alicia. Hold on, chat. Okay. Kind of like if you're not growing, you're dying. Yes. I saw DIY and I was like, do it yourself. That's what I saw. Kind of like if you're not growing, you're dying. Exactly. You guys, if you're not moving forward, you're going to get ran over. If you're not alive, you're dead. Okay? Think of it like that. If I am not living, like wholeheartedly living and feeling alive, you're going to get ran over and dead. That's how I'm going to look at it. And it has to be almost, there is no gray area in there. Okay? You're either feeling alive, feeling good, working hard, and moving forward, or you are dead. Okay? There is no like autopilot. There, you know what I mean? Like autopilot is still dead. Like you have to be pushing forward, like being on these calls, doing your workouts, reaching out to people, you know what I mean? Keeping your house clean, keeping your family clean. That's all part of feeling alive. That's all part of being alive. Okay? But also, back up just a second, don't shame yourself or feel guilty if you didn't do all of these things that you thought you were supposed to be doing. That's where I think like women really struggle. And especially when it comes to like, don't go through life, grow through life. I love that quote. That is such a good quote. You guys got to write that one down. You guys, like, so we have like, we're like, okay, I got to feel alive. I must feel alive. Like, why am I not feeling alive right now? And then we like feel guilty, right? We're like, start shaming ourselves. Well, maybe there's something wrong with me as to why I'm not feeling alive right now, you know? And like, we start to regress because we start to beat ourselves up because we're not feeling alive in every moment. Okay? So sometimes the work doesn't you don't realize that you're feeling alive in the work. You know, like every day you come to Warrior Hour, you're like listening, and sometimes you're just like, yeah, I've got this, I'm doing this. And like it feels repetitive or it feels like, yeah. But then in a month or 2 months or a year down the road, you guys, you're going to look back and go, holy crap, like thank God I did all of that. Even if in the moment it wasn't always like ooh and ahs kind of thing, you're still learning, you're still processing, you're still building that momentum, okay? It may not feel like it every single day. That's just like we do a workout and then we step on the scale, right? And we're like, did I lose a pound? It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. You have to be consistent. Workout. You might step on that scale 17 times and it doesn't move, right? And then that 18th time you step on and boom, it moved. You know, you never know when that moment's going to happen. And so you got to continue to press. And because if you stop to look at yourself and say, oh, I'm not working. Oh, it's not working. And so you take 2 days off. Well, that definitely moved you further from your goal. You know, you're definitely not going to get there if you stop. Okay. So you have to keep going. We have to keep pushing. And I think that like the more we become self-aware too, the easier it gets, you guys, because you realize that all these little things over time equal or will line up to creating a new life for you. Okay. And that's totally possible for you. I hope you guys know that. What kind of life you have right now is totally possible to have a totally different life. I do. From when I started coaching to now, y'all, I have a totally different life. Okay. Living in an RV on food stamps, WIC, and living in Texas to living in the Florida Keys, coaching for 4 years, having a whole team of girls. Like, yo, if I'm not freaking transformation enough for you, then you don't know my story enough. Like, if I'm not sitting here preaching to you guys, it's because I'm living it too with you guys. And here I am still 4 years later taking notes on a video, still doing the work, because I know that the moment I press the brakes, I can get ran over too. Even as far ahead as I am, because maybe you guys are in like your first year, so you're looking at me like, how the hell is she doing these videos every day? Like, how the hell is she just showing up every day? And she has like content and she's got like videos and like, like, how is she even doing that every day? Like, I've had a couple of my coaches message me and they're like, you doing all right? Like, you're doing a lot. Like, I actually feel really good. I feel very purposeful. I feel very whole. And I feel like the last 4 years of my coaching has been leading me up, boom, right here where I'm supposed to be. And the only reason, though, you guys, is because I've been doing the work every single day. I've been doing the work when I felt good. I've been doing the work when I felt bad. I've been doing the freaking work. Okay? So then when moments like this arise, yeah, I may wallow a little bit in the beginning when everything was getting canceled and everything was changing. Yeah, I went through some emotional stuff. I went through like, poor me, little victim. Oh, I can't go outside. Oh, I can't go on vacation. Yeah, of course I still did that. But it lasted a few days. And then I was like, that ain't serving me. That ain't happening. I'm moving on. And that's when I was like, warrior hour, meetings. I got to pour into my workout. And you know what I mean? Like, that's when I actually just started to like, boom, get back into the work. But had that been, kind of always wonder, like, if I had never started coaching, how would I be dealing with this situation right now had I not have any of this in my life? Whoo, buddy. Talk about victim. Girl, I would have been the best victim player ever. I would have been like, poor me. This is all against me. The world is against me, you know? But I don't have time for that. I had like a day and a half time for that, okay? And then it's cut that crap, move on, accept your new reality, and now how can you make it work for you? How can you self-regulate to flip your perspective and make it work for you? Okay? So that's what I love. I actually really enjoyed that video, even though like some of it was kind of spotty. I still really enjoyed it. Did anybody else write anything down that they heard that I maybe didn't talk about? I don't think so. I think I pretty much probably talked about everything.
Humility not equaling weakness.
What'd you say? Talk again.
Humility does not equal weakness.
I love that. Yes, you guys, like vulnerability, humility, it's not a weakness. Like, not even in the least bit. Now, if you try to make it as in poor me, yes. Yes, that is a weakness. But if you make this say like, hey, I'm being vulnerable because I want to show you guys that I'm human too, or that I struggle too, but I'm going to spin it to win it. That's kind of how I always think when I post. Like, I've had a lot of people be like, wow, even in your negative posts, you just like find a positive way. Because in my mind, I got to spin this to win it. Not necessarily just for you guys, but for myself too, you know, to help my own perspective of like, how can I make this work for me? You know, I got to spin it to win it. And because like, I rarely ever just like, I will never just like post negative stuff. Like, you'll never just see me like rant about something. Now you may see me say like, man, this has been really hard to deal with, but I'm working through it. Like, we're going to be okay. Like, I've got this. I know eventually I'll work through this. You know what I mean? Like, I may like still have, and showing vulnerability, you guys, it's totally fine. It makes you feel human, shows that you're human, because we are human, right? And I think a lot of us, or society in general, just like forgot that people make mistakes or that people aren't perfect. And we just got used to seeing everybody in their airbrush photos and their perfect little lives, when in reality, that just ain't true. It's just like really not true. And it actually drives me insane when I see people like look perfect on their Instagram all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because you posted like 2 weeks apart. So you pulled like the one photo from your 2 weeks that was like beautiful. And I'm like, show me on your Wednesday morning what you look like, and then we'll talk, you know? Because and that's why I always like, I just want to show up every day. You know, I just show up every day because I want you to know I'm here every day doing the freaking work. And I want you to see my face. I want you to see me doing the workouts. I want you to see me showing up every single day, no matter what. Because I think it's important to be vulnerable. And it's not a weakness at all. I don't think that my vulnerability is a weakness at all. And so I love that you said that.
Want to see the game and upload it?
I will come see it. Why don't we say goodbye to the girls then?
Let's say bye to the girls now.
Okay. All right, ladies. So let me, yeah, I think we'll kind of just stop there. I want to take a picture of like our earrings, if we could do that somehow. So I have, hold on.
100.
Yes, that is 100.
1, 2.
Okay, but I only can see like 4 people at a time. So I'll let you guys know who's like here. So I first have Amanda, Kristen, and Carly, and myself. So we'll smile first. Show your earrings. Okay. And then let me stroll. So then I have Bethany, Brooke, Brittany, and Alicia. Okay, ready? Go. Oh, I love this. This is too cute. Okay, my next screen is Lisa, Michaela, Rochelle, and Nicole. Yeah. Okay, and then my final screen, I think is Karen. I'll take a little photo of her. I don't think she's there actually, but awesome. Thank you, ladies. That was fun. Maybe we should do what could we do for Thursday? Let's all wear red tomorrow. Maybe we'll do red. So everybody wear red tomorrow. And well, this is like a coral. I'll wear red tomorrow. Red. All right, ladies. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day. Hopefully you guys got a little insight. Fantastic. That's a hard one to say, isn't it? There you go.
A little girl.
I know, I see you, baby. All right, ladies, I hope you have a good day. I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye.
Bye, little girl.
Bye.